Sitting here on top of my prime image TBC, also known as a time-based corrector, are two different formats from two different eras. On the left, you have an EIAJ black and white half-inch videotape that I'm going to attempt to transfer over to a DVD RAM disc. You mean you've never heard of a DVD RAM disc? Well, we are about to show you the coolness of a DVD RAM disc and how it's recorded onto a Panasonic DMR-EZ47V machine. So, stay tuned. Before we get into the details of how we're going to transfer these formats together, I thought it'd be fun to show you this TBC. Now, a good friend of mine named Tom got this for me, and I won't give you his full name because he's such a generous guy you might be contacting him and asking him for cool stuff. But he does a lot of work with television stations, and he found this guy for me. Now, the reason that he found this for me is because if you attempt to transfer EIAJ video onto just your standard DVD recorder or digital source, it's going to be really confusing for the VCR or the recipient device to translate that video because it's very different than modern video is. So what you do is you get a TBC and you run the signal into the TBC and it digitizes it and turns it into a nice new clean signal. So it's great for situations like if you have a really old videotape of any format that just looks horrible and you want to enhance it and make it look better. You don't buy one of those cheap Radio Shack or Archer devices to do it, to clean it up with. You get a TBC. So here's the TBC and we'll see what kind of image results we get with it. But first, let's look inside and see what's in this puppy. So there really isn't a whole lot inside this puppy, as you can see here, but lots of circuitry. So again, it's a digital time-based corrector, so it is going to be essentially solid state. So we have all these chips here that are going to actually do the processing, and then over here you have your power supply circuitry over here on the left. And then there's a big old ribbon cable that connects from the motherboard there to the front panel for our controls. But that's it. That is all that there is inside of this thing. So you're getting the view inside of a professional studio quality digital time-based corrector. So now that you've seen how cool it is, let me show you my setup. So for today's scientific experiment, we are going to use this machine to record. This is the Panasonic DMR-EZ47V. This unit has complete digital capability, so you can take digital video from your DV camera or your digital 8 camcorder and plug it right into this unit and dub it in. The other thing that's really cool is that it will take all of these cool formats: DVD RAM, DVD-R and +R, DVD- and +RW recording. So we can do rewritable discs, read and write once discs, or we can do the RAM. Now RAM is a really cool format. You can see the little logo here on the top. RAM allows you to make recordings more like a hard drive. So you can actually take certain videos and delete them off of the disk and add videos in, very much like a mini disc worked back in the day. And the DVD-RW allows you to erase the entire disk and re-record the entire disk, but not selectively remove different things. So it almost turns this DVD drive right here into a hard drive. You'll notice the DivX logo is also here on the top, and you can play DivX as well as photos and music, I believe, through this SD high capacity slot right here on the front. So you open up the little door, you've got the slot there to put in your SD card and plug in your FireWire port here. You can select your drive right here, so VHS, DVD, and SD card right there. This thing also plays back Super VHS tapes. So you can play your Super VHS tapes in this machine at regular VHS quality. So if you have a wedding video that you had someone shoot in Super VHS, you can at least watch it on this machine and play it back. It does not record in Super VHS quality, however. It has all the cool jacks. You have an S-video input here on the front with left and right audio. Again, that's for perhaps an older 8mm camcorder, has that capability. And it's great because everything that comes out of this machine will come out through HDMI. So now you can watch your VHS tapes on your standard high definition television. Pretty cool. The unit is really slow to boot up and shut down, oddly enough. It must have some kind of an operating system that takes a while to load. But it does have the capability to let you dub from VHS to DVD or DVD to VHS simply by hitting one button. It's very, very easy to use. Now let's show you the two incarnations of DVD RAM. On the left here we have a Panasonic DVD RAM disc. As you can see, it holds 120 minutes of video at 4.7 gigabyte capacity. Now that's one-sided. Over here we have the DVD RAM cartridge, as you saw at the beginning of this video. It offers a little bit more capacity than you could with a standard DVD by giving you 9.4 gigabytes. Even a dual-sided DVD, dual-layer DVD, is not going to give you that capacity. So what's really neat about it is the disc itself is really uniquely fashioned, and I'll kind of zoom in on it so you can see it, but there's a cool little rainbow pattern going on there, as you can see. And the disc itself is formatted, so when you put the disc in, it's almost like a floppy disk. It has to be formatted for you to record on it. It comes in this protective case, at least in this double-sided format it does, so you can do your recording there at 3x speed. Some of these cartridges are, and maybe this one as well, I haven't tried it. Actually, it does look like it may be, you might be able to open this one and take the disc out of the cartridge and put a different disc in. I believe that's what that little release lever right there is for. So pretty cool. So to put it in the machine, you have this unique drawer here that will accept just about any kind of format. So you have the standard 5-inch slot. You've got a 3-inch slot for those camcorders that used DVD-R discs to record to directly. You can pop that in there. And then on the outer edge of the drawer here gives you the capability to insert this cartridge. So you just put the cartridge in like that and close it up, and the machine reads it just like a regular disc. Now you saw the little door open, the little slider door on the top, move out of the way as the disc was inserted. So again, our goal here is to take some video off of my Sony EIAJ machine that you've already seen on my channel, most likely. If not, check out that video as well. But we are going to be able to dub off those old video signals onto DVD RAM. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the actual video signal that's from here, and I'm going to basically encode it directly to YouTube so that you can see the quality without having to look at it on this little TV here. Okay, so let's begin with our experiment. Now, it wouldn't be a full experiment if I didn't show you the ingredients of the experiment. First, we're going to look at the ingredients of the Panasonic and the TBC. Strangely enough, this thing has a sticker on it that says made in the USA. I don't know if I believe them, but there is a sticker there. It's almost falling off. This says made in USA. Now, the Panasonic, unfortunately, made in China. But hey, they did a good job on this one. You guys in China, you should be proud. Your inputs on the back of the TBC, so you have your Genlock input and output for appropriate devices that use that technology. Then over here you have S-video in and out and composite in and out. These are BNC connectors, so I have BNC adapters on there that allow me to hook up via the RCA jack. This gold plug here is coming from the reel-to-reel machine. This S-video out is connected to the back of my monitor, and I also have HDMI hooked up. So just for comparison, I've got HDMI connected as well. But as far as the connections on the back of the DVD recorder, you can see there the manufacture date of August 2007, and you got quite a bit of inputs there. You can do output of component or HDMI, which is right there, and you have your standard left, right, and composite video inputs, as well as S-video output there and input. So pretty cool, right? Now, I think it would also be great to kind of show you what's inside of this DVD-R unit. What do you think? Should we go on the inside? Okay, you talked me into it. Let's pull the lid. And here is the inside of the Panasonic DVD recorder. Over here you'll see your power supply circuitry as well as the RF output and input modulator there. You have your DVD RAM drive here on the left, your VCR unit over here, which is amazingly simplistic looking, isn't it? I mean, compared to the way older VCRs were made, it's like there's nothing here. I mean, just some gears and a video head and some ribbon cables coming off of it. Over here is more of the main circuitry of the motherboard. It also looks fairly plain and barren there. And then look at this processor board for HDMI. Looks like it's got an ATI theater processor in it, as well as an LSI logic. And those two chips there are probably video memory. And then you've got a Panasonic chip right there. And then we'll kind of swing around here, and look at that. The only output there is the HDMI output. So more than likely all those analog signals coming into this board just to be fed out to the HDMI. There is a fan in there, and as you can see, the fan is running. So keeping all this stuff nice and chilly cool. So let's put a tape in there just to see what this loading system looks like, shall we? So I'm going to insert this digital S tape. This digital S is also a studio quality or professional quality digital format. It's a VHS tape. This particular one has been modified so that it will play, or at least allow insertion and recording into a standard VHS machine. So let's go ahead and put that in, see what that looks like. Very nice. So there you have it. Go ahead and hit eject on that. I featured this tape on a recent Super VHS VCR, JVC VCR, that I reviewed, and another Super VHS machine as well. So there is a digital S tape. All right, so it's time to put the lid back on and see if we can do some recording through the time-based corrector. So here's a recording coming off of the air of the time that this machine was made. So this recording was made in the 1970s. And there's a lot of jumpiness and artifacts and stuff going on the picture. And some of which I think has to do with the age of the tape and with the differences in the recording machines that were used. So this was recorded on a Panasonic, but is being played back on a Sony. And they should be compatible, but there is some differences there. So you can see that there's some little colorful rainbow patterns going on there. So one of the things I can do is I can actually reduce the chroma or turn it off, and I've just now done that with my TBC. So now we're left with just a pure black and white signal. Now, even though it's still a little jumpy, it's a little bit easier to watch. I can also turn up my AGC, my automatic gain control, and that will brighten up the picture a little bit and allow us to kind of see a little bit more detail. Now, what the people who made this video are doing is they have the camera pointed to a monitor, and that camera is recording itself in the monitor, which creates this video feedback effect that they're just having a blast with, as you can see here. So this was recorded on a Panasonic machine and was recorded with probably a Panasonic black and white camera at the time that it was originally recorded. Now, this particular video signal is pretty bad, and it would be almost impossible for a new machine to record any of this just because it's so jumpy and crazy and wacky. So we're going to go ahead and do a test recording with the unit now. Let's go ahead and press record. Alright, so we are now recording onto our DVD RAM disc that you saw earlier. I'm going to turn up my automatic gain control here, and maybe we can see a little bit more what's going on here in this picture. Now, I believe what's happening on the tape here, oh wow, he's really brightening it up apparently with the iris of the camera. He's videotaping the Panasonic machine that this tape was recorded on originally. So we're seeing the tape. The tape is down here playing on the reel-to-reel machine, and it's being recorded live at the time that the video was made. So pretty cool stuff, eh? All right, so now let's go ahead and play back our tape. I'm going to hit stop and then hit play. All right, so now we're playing back the video we just made onto the DVD RAM disk. And at any point in time, I can go ahead and hit pause. Kind of get an idea of what's going on there. My theory behind this tape and why it plays so horribly is that I believe the Panasonic wasn't calibrated correctly, and it was recording at a different speed, or just a slightly different speed. And that is what's causing all this crazy insanity during playback. So that gives you an idea of how this process works, and the fact that it can work, that we can record from this old medium to a new medium with the help of the TBC. Here is a freeze frame shot that I'm doing with the TBC itself, and it is allowing me to look at one frame of video that I've done a snapshot of, and by flipping the switch I can go back to the video itself. So again, here's the freeze. See if we can capture a good picture here. Well, this is just so messy right here. It's crazy. Shows us the fields there. There we go. So now we've captured a frame of video from the original video. And looks like this guy had a cool reel-to-reel deck in his laboratory there back in the day. The Panasonic has some really cool menus in it. This is the menu for the DVD that's currently in there, and gives me some options here. So I have playback, and within playback I can go in and see the different clips that I've actually recorded, which is kind of cool. So it creates some little a little menu with some previews of what's on the disc itself, which is kind of nice. And then let's see, I want to go back here, and it does not let me. How do I do that? Exit. There we go. And then let's go to program. So I can't program anything until I set the clock. Darn it. Got that darn flashing 12 o'clock thing going on. So I can do some deletions. So I can delete one of my clips here. Let's say I decided to delete the first clip. So the time remaining after deleting this clip, 1:59. Go ahead and delete. So again, it's random access to the video clips that are on there. So now you see I just have one clip. Okay. Other options that we have in here, we have a copy function, which is not highlighted right now, probably because there's no VHS tape in there. But look at our other function here. So we have flexible recording, we have DV camcorder record, setup, and DV management. So I'm going to take you into DV management. So in here we can name the disk, we can turn disk protection on or off so we can prevent future recordings from happening. So if, let's say, you had a wedding video on here and you didn't want it accidentally recorded, we could go ahead and protect it that way. We can delete all recordings, or we can format the disk. So let's see what that process is like. So I'm going to hit format. It says formatting the disk will delete all the contents. This will take approximately 1 minute. Do you want to continue? I'm going to hit yes. Are you sure you want to do this? Start. And we will format our DVD RAM disk. And you can hear it working in the background there. So this should free up all of the space that's on the disk. And notice it shows 2 hours at SP. So there are different recording speeds that this unit has as well. Now let me show you the main menu on this, just to give you an idea of all the functionality we have here to choose from. Take a quick look at the setup menu here. So starting on the left there, we have channel, and allows us to have the different options with the NTSC audio input. We have a setup mode here, so we can set our timer, remote control, code, clock settings, DivX registration, quick start, restore default settings. We have settings for playback, settings for recording. We have a video setting. We have audio settings. We have display settings, and we have a TV screen setting. So we're currently using a 16:9 480p television, and all of those different items are here to be selected. And then down at the bottom there we have VHS, and we can do tape length, T120. We also have the option of T160 and T180. And let's see, we're going to go back, and then jet search. So I think this allows you to really fly through the tape quickly and look for stuff, and maybe this is the different speeds at which you can do that. So I know that it has an extremely roaring fast rewind on the cassettes themselves. And so there again is the other functions, and we went from other functions over to setup. Well guys, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey of transferring old formats to new formats in the case here of this DVD-R unit. Now, I don't normally do this on my channel, but I'm going to do something special this time. I'm going to list this DVD-R on eBay and give you guys the opportunity to bid on it and actually own a piece of databits hardware. So when I get that auction ready, I'll go ahead and put the link to the auction at the bottom of this video. So again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe and check out my Facebook page. That's at www.facebook.com/1 and databits. I got to get off here. I've got to go figure out how to set the clock on this DVD-R. So I'll see you next time.